welcome to today's CTO conversation. With me, I have Roger Ecklund, who is our mainframe storage expert here at Evolving Solutions. He's a senior solutions architect. Thanks for joining me today, Roger.
Thank you, Michael.
I appreciate you taking the time. So one of the things that we've talked quite a bit about, and I know our clients are challenged with, is hybrid cloud brings lots of opportunities for innovation, and people get really excited about the things they can do, but it also brings some new security challenges because you're creating a broader attack surface and things like that. So in your conversation with clients, what are you seeing people do to sort of address that challenge, particularly as it relates to your environment around mainframe and storage?
There's been a lot more conversations and a lot of chatter really surrounding safeguarded copy,
Okay.
safeguarded copy, and even cyber vault. Some of these things. A lot of people are asking questions. How much extra capacity will it take? It's mostly around sizing and how many backups should I take, how often per day, and there's been some really good things that, let's say, like Nick Clayton from IBM has put out there. There's a share episode that he did that really finds the sweet spot for safeguarded copy. Now, safeguarded copy is a track space backup that is done of only your changed tracks.
Okay.
So when this is happening, it ends up being a much smaller amount of capacity than what most people think, but it does help a lot.
Okay. And so what makes safeguarded copy preferable to just writing out to tape once or twice a day or even every hour?
Well, it's one of those things that since it's keeping track of just your changed track, so it's just your updates, you would do this like 4 or 6 times per day,
Okay.
and then you would keep anywhere from 5 to maybe 14 days worth of data. And that way, if you do have a data breach or some sort of hack, you can go back and take your safeguarded copy, move it to your recovery volumes, and bring up that system to see if your data has been affected or some sort of hack has taken place. You can selectively, kind of surgically, restore volumes from those recovery volumes to get everything back in sync the way it should be.
Oh, awesome. That sounds like a fantastic solution. I think one of the things you just said made me think of another sort of challenge we're seeing, and that's that we hear all the time how attackers are in people's systems for maybe months at a time before they actually launch an attack, and so that the point in time at which that data is uncorrupted sort of changes. What are you seeing sort of the industry do to deal with some of those challenges?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a real concern because so many of the sizing studies that I've seen, people are protecting up to 2 weeks.
Sure.
Well, if the data breach has actually happened before that, one of the things that IBM has developed is Cyber Vault, and I think this is really revolutionary. And I think a lot of people are going to be moving to it. The reason being is that you take one of your safeguarded copies, most likely per day. Maybe your midnight one, or you select a busy time, and you move that copy to those recovery volumes. You IPL it with what they call LCP, which is logical corruption protection.
Okay.
If that IPLs correctly and you feel comfortable with that backup, you can then use transparent cloud tiering and back that up to a cyber vault. And you can use TCT, and it backs it up straight to your TS7770.
Okay.
And that way you're on a different retention period. So you can keep that for 4, 6, 12 months if you wanted to. And it's tape capacity, so it's cheaper.
Sure. And it sounds like that also gives you sort of a logical air gap. There's a way to sort of keep the permissions that might have written the bad data in the first place to going and making changes to that backup. Do I remember that correctly?
Yes, absolutely. You can have it in a dedicated system, or you can have it in a separate logical partition on an existing system. So either way, those tapes are not recognized to the host. They are in a protected environment, and it is air gap. So,
okay,
excellent.
Well, awesome. Thank you, Roger. I appreciate you taking the time to chat with me today. And thank you, everybody, for joining us. Looking forward to talking to you sometime in the near future.